Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today doing another fantasy football video. Today's video is a buy or sell ninth round ADP video. Pretty much that means will I buy or sell a player at their current ADP in the ninth round, or pretty much what that also means is will I draft them or will I just not pick them and stay away from them. So, before I start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please go down below and click that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot. Once you click that button, you're pretty much going to be getting all the videos that are going to help you win your fantasy football championship and all tips for the draft, all tips for during the season, trading, waivers, all that. You're going to get all that, and it's free too. So, I don't make you pay for anything. So, let's get right into the video. The first pick at the current average draft position is the 901 is D.D. Westbrook, Jaguars wide receiver. Now, my opinion at the 901, I love D.D. Westbrook. D.D. Westbrook is a great wide receiver who should be the wide receiver one in Nick Foles led Jaguars offense. Now, I think that D.D. Westbrook is really going to take that step up this year and be pretty great. He has pretty good hands. He's going to be the number one on the team, and I think Foles is obviously a step up from Bortles, and he played pretty good with Bortles. So you would think just having that better quarterback would obviously give him the boost that he needs into being worth a ninth round pick and to potentially be a guy that you could have been locked and loaded into your flex every single week. I like him a lot this late in the draft. So at the 902, we have quarterback Russell Wilson. Now, for me, Russell Wilson is definitely a buy, but he's not a buy that I love completely. Now, I will buy him here because I typically wait later for a quarterback, and around like the ninth, 10th, 11th round is where I typically swing for the quarterback position if it's not just a few rounds earlier for a guy like Breeze or Matthew Ryan. But I like Russell Wilson, but he does have some downsides. Obviously, the Seahawks are a very run heavy offense. They're going to be running the rock a lot. They're not going to be super pass heavy, obviously, because of that. But I do think Russell Wilson, they have such a good quarterback that they would definitely throw the ball a bunch of times, and he's definitely going to score some touchdowns every game. I don't think he's going to be necessarily a guy that I could believe finishing like top six or top five quarterback, but he's probably pretty safe here if you wait all the way to the ninth round and go quarterback. At the 903, we have LaShawn McCoy, running back, Buffalo Bills, as of right now. He currently, right now, I would sell him because he's on the Bills. The Bills have a whole shit ton of running backs. They've got him. They got Frank Gore. They got the guy from the Jags last year, whatever the fuck that dude's name is, and they got a new guy that they drafted. It's so fucking confusing. You don't want anything to do with the Bills rushing offense. I'd rather have Josh Allen. Josh Allen is their best fucking running back at this point because you don't want anything to do with a running back by committee with four running backs that could probably play okay. So I would just strictly avoid going with Sean McCoy here in the ninth round. At the 904, we have Mr. Corey Davis, who's a sell. I do not like Corey Davis at all. That guy has been given the opportunity for years now. I don't even know how long he's been in the NFL, but it seems like he has absolutely failed on people's fantasy teams for a couple of years in a row now. He's a guy who's the wide receiver one on the Titans. Now, the Titans are a team that is god awful at throwing the ball. Mariota is going to get fucking cut or something, man. That guy is terrible. He really has not shown up to be the guy that the Titans drafted him a few years ago to be. I think that the only way Corey Davis does pay off at this value is if he somehow is just getting so many targets that even though he drops like half of them, he somehow magically gets so many that just catching half the balls means that he's good enough to be worth a fucking flex spot. I don't even want this guy on my fucking bench. He brings bad juju to your team. You don't want nothing to do with fucking Corey Davis cursed ass. Fuck that guy in fantasy. You don't want his ass. So at the 905, 901 Shelby Drive, we have N'Keal Harry, wide receiver rookie on the New England Patriots. N'Keal Harry right now is a sell. Now, right now, he's a sell. Today, I'm recording this video. It is the 2nd of August. He is currently a sell. Now, you may tell me, oh, Nick, he's going to be the wide receiver too on Tom Brady's offense. So, well, right now, I don't know if he's going to be the wide receiver too behind Edelman. I don't really trust anyone on that team besides really Edelman and James White. Everyone else, I don't really trust. The running backs are confusing besides James White, as I know he's going to get that production. I would much rather just stay clear of pretty much every single Patriots player except not named Julian Edelman or James White or Gronk, I guess if Gronk was to come back. But it's confusing because we don't necessarily know who the wide receiver 2 is going to even be on the team. Will it be N'Keal Harry? Will it be Philip Dorsett? Will Josh Gordon come back and emerge as the greatest wide receiver to ever grace the NFL fields? But that's what we don't know right now. So it's very confusing. So I would just stay away from N'Keal Harry, even though I think that the ninth round, if he ends up being someone who's the wide receiver 2 on the Patriots, he will have value, but at this current time, I'm staying away from N'Keal Harry. So at the 906, we have Cam Newton, the guy who talks in wingdings on Instagram, Carolina Panthers quarterback. He is a buy. Now, I like Cam Newton for a few reasons. Cam Newton, good at running the ball, and like I said, quarterbacks that know how to run the ball are going to be cheat codes in fantasy. You get 10 yards for every 10 yards you rush, you get 1 point, but typically it's 25 yards you got to throw to get 1 point, and Cam Newton can easily run those 10 yards. He's a guy who will fake the ball to fucking Christian McCaffrey and steal his touchdown. Say fuck you, Mr. Christian McCaffrey, and just score the touchdown. He also has a pretty good arm. Now, the thing that will worry me, obviously, is his shoulder injury from last year. Not, he had shoulder surgery. Sorry, there, guys. And I think that could affect how well he can throw the long ball. Obviously, that will affect it. But I've been looking at clips in training camp. It doesn't seem like he's too rusty or anything. It seems like he's perfectly fine, like playing how he was at the beginning of the last year when he was doing pretty good fantasy before he got hurt. So I think Cam Newton could definitely be worth a pick at the 906 in the draft. So at the 907, we have Jared Goff, yet another quarterback that I like going in this round. All three of the quarterbacks in this round I really like. Now, Jared Goff is a lot more safer, in my opinion, than Cam Newton or Russell Wilson. He's going to put in pretty safe numbers. He's never going to really win you a game unless they're playing the Chiefs again, and he decides to put up four or five, however many touchdowns they threw in that game. That shit was crazy if you remember that. The Chiefs versus the Rams from last year. But I think Jared Goff's really going to elevate his game from last season and try to become a quarterback that is slightly more accurate, not play like how he did in the Super Bowl. If he plays like how he did last year, just slightly better, then he's definitely going to be worth a ninth round pick here. He has great wide receivers. He has a running back who's injury prone. So maybe they'll be more willing to throw the ball because they don't want to rely too heavily on Todd Gurley when Todd Gurley is injured because of his knee. And maybe that will be untrue because Darrell Henderson will turn out to be how I think he will be and be able to be a 2 down back, 3 down back if Todd Gurley was to get hurt. So at the 908, we have Patriots running back Damian Harris, and he is a sell. And like I said, the same reason why I'm selling N'Keal Harry is because it's just too confusing to figure out which Patriot player you fucking want. If it's not Edelman and it's not James White, you just don't touch him. Damian Harris could end up being the running back one if Sony Michel gets hurt and stays hurt because Sony Michel has problems with his leg, his knee, or some shit like that. He has injury problems down there at that part of the body. So we're just going to avoid the injury risk of Sony Michel, just like we're just going to avoid Damian Harris because we don't know how much Bill Belichick will use Damian Harris, and he'll probably have games. Damian Harris will probably have a few games where he scores like 20 something points. And then everyone's going to pick him up, and then you know what he's going to do next week? Score like 2 points because Bill Belichick's very confusing to figure out at the running back position. So for that reason, we're staying away from Damian Harris. So at the 909, we have Jalen Samuels, and he's a buy, but he's not a buy that I necessarily love. Now, he's pretty much a handcuff that's slightly better than a handcuff. Now, if you have James Conner, I'd draft Jalen Samuels because James Conner got hurt end of last season. We saw how well Jalen Samuels played. But at the exact same time, Jalen Samuel is not really going to get that many snaps at the running back position because, as you know, Mike Tomlin runs just a one running back strategy. He likes one guy. When Lev Bell was on the team, it was the Lev Bell show. Last year it was the James Conner show until he got hurt. So I don't think Jalen Samuels is really going to be vulturing touchdowns, going to be out there for too many snaps. But I do think there's still the possibility that Jalen Samuels runs out there as a wide receiver, runs out there as a tight end on certain plays, and could get some value there. So I like Jalen Samuels. I don't love him. He's kind of confusing, so I put him as a buy. But if you're not willing to pick Jalen Samuels, I definitely understand doing that. So at the 9-10, we have Cortland Sutton, Denver wide receiver. Now, he is a sell, in my opinion. Sorry that just fucking moved. I'm an idiot and didn't fucking properly configure this, but it's okay because Cortland Sutton is a sell. Now, you might wonder, Nick, why do you not want a guy who could be the wide receiver one on Denver? For starters, Denver fucking sucks. Flacco's not very good. We saw in the preseason game week 1, Drew Lock wasn't playing that well. We saw that a few days ago. But at the exact same time, I don't even know if Courtland Sutton will be the wide receiver one. I'd much rather throw my pick on a guy like Deshaun Hamilton with my last pick in the draft before I pick my kicker and defense than go for a guy like Courtland Sutton, who was just about okay last year. I'd rather have the high value in Deshaun Jackson just going. His value isn't even that high. It's just the fact that he's going so much later, and he could end up catching just as many passes as Courtland Sutton 4 rounds later. At the 9-11, we have Curtis Samuel, Carolina wide receiver, and we love Curtis Samuel over here on this channel. We love drafting this guy in fantasy football this year, and you might wonder, Nick, why do you like Curtis Samuel so much? Sorry, guys, I don't know what the fuck is happening with my body right now. I'm just shutting down completely for the second video of today, but it's fine because there's another fucking video coming at you guys later, so it's okay. But Curtis Samuel is going to really have his breakout year this year. He's going to be the wide receiver 2 on this team. It's going to be the DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, and Christian McCaffrey show. Greg Olsen will probably get hurt lacing his shoes up, just like his friend AJ Green does. They're both very injury prone. I think that now that Devin Funchess is gone, now Devin Funchess was eating up all of these targets, right? He was actually eating them because the fucking ball was not going into his hands. They'd fucking hit him in the fucking helmet, smack in the fucking face, hit him in the leg, because that motherfucker did not know how to catch the ball. And I'm sorry to say that. You seem like a nice guy, Mr. Funchess, but you just were not the guy. But Curtis Samuel seems like he has actual hands. He can actually catch the ball. He can actually run pretty good routes, which you can see in the training camp videos. He's pretty fast too, and I like Curtis Samuel for the pick. I think he could end up being even better possibly than DJ Moore. And DJ Moore's like a 5th round pick, and so that means he's going about 4 rounds later. Could be 5 rounds later if Curtis Samuel falls to the 10th round. So I like Curtis Samuel here. Now at the 9-12, we have the Rams defense, and if you know anything about me, you know that the Rams defense is a sell because you know what you don't do. You don't draft the defense before the last round. The only team you can ever reach for is the Bears, and you can only do that 1 round before the last round or 2 rounds before the last round because it's just so hard to predict a defense for the whole season. You don't want to have one defense for the whole season. I would rather just use my strategy of streaming a defense every single week. What that means, if you don't understand what that means, is you draft a defense for week 1 that's playing against a shitty offense, and then you know what you do week 2, you drop them, and then add another defense that's playing against a shitty offense the next week. It's very simple to do, and I'm going to explain to you guys how to do that more in a different video. But thank you guys all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you agreed with any of these picks, or disagreed, you can just leave it in the comments. Like, if you're a guy who's like some type of Corey Davis truther who thinks Corey Davis doesn't absolutely suck cock at playing football, you can go ahead and leave that in the comment. If you believe that Courtland Sutton is the number 1, go ahead and tell me. And if you believe that the Rams defense are worth a 9th-round pick, then you can tell me in the comments, but I probably won't even fucking answer because that is just a stupid take. So thank you guys all for watching the video. I do really hope that you enjoyed. I hope you go down below, just click that fucking subscribe button because I want you guys to win your championship. And if you want to win your championship, you might as well click that subscribe button to get all the videos so that you can win. So thank you guys all for watching. Have a great goddamn day, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Goodbye, guys.